Hello and welcome to Starting Your Investment Journey audio series. Now, up to this point, what we have done is to build a strong foundation. You now understand money, asset classes, instruments, and mutual funds. So now we're going to introduce something that quietly shapes every financial outcome in your life, and that is inflation. That is what we're going to be talking about in this episode. What is inflation? I know that for many of us, you probably did economics in school or you have done some business classes and you know what inflation is. So inflation is a gradual increase in the general price of goods and services over time, which reduces the purchasing power of money. In simple terms, what we're saying is that money loses value over time if it is not growing, and that is because of inflation. Now, let's say, for example, you keep 100,000 naira today, maybe in a bank, or you keep it at home, and you do nothing with it. 1 year later, you still have your 100,000 naira. At least on paper, nothing has changed. But in reality, something has changed. What you can buy with 100,000 naira has reduced. That is inflation at work. Inflation does not reduce the number in your account. It reduces what that number in your account can do for you. But inflation usually feels invisible. Why? Because it does not always come as a shock. It is a gradual increase in price. It is silent. It adjusts price little by little over time. So people often don't notice it directly. They only notice it when life becomes more expensive and they begin to wonder, this thing we're buying it for this amount last year. Now this same amount is not enough for it. So maybe a particular budget that the family can live with, maybe last 2 years, the same budget, you need double of it this year. So that's when people begin to understand. So here is a simple example. If food prices, transport cost, and rent, if they increase, but your income remains the same, your financial position has weakened, even though your salary did not decrease. That is the hidden impact of inflation. Inflation creates a pressure point in the financial system. So it forces one of three responses from you. It's either you increase your income, you invest money, or you lose purchasing power. So while saving money itself is a good financial discipline to start with, I established that earlier, that saving is good, but saving money is not a protection against inflation. So what saving does is to preserve the amount, right? It preserves the amount rather. So it does not preserve the value. And that is the real reason why investing exists. So investing is not for speculation, it's not for gambling. Is for preservation of purchasing power over time. So investing is how money tries to outrun inflation over time. Now, what is the key insight here? If your money is not growing faster than your inflation, then you are not standing still. You are actually falling behind quietly. And that's why people often feel like, I'm earning more, but I'm not progressing. Or they feel like, my salary increased, but my life is still tight. That is because inflation adjusts the baseline silently. So the question is no longer, how much do I have? The better question is my money growing faster than the environment is eroding it? So that is what inflation is all about. So now that we understand inflation, we need to understand the other side of the equation, which is risk. So if inflation is slowly eroding wealth, then risk is what creates uncertainty in outcome. And that's what we're going to look at in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Remember that you should always invest in knowledge before you invest in a specific asset. Make sure that you think in long term and build gradually. Thank you very much and see you in the next episode.